around the world. And maybe they've got a question or two that somebody out there would like to know. But Melinda, do you want to go first? I know you probably need to go in another 15 minutes or so to help your husband. But, yeah, you're on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to ask? Would you like to ask Shane a question about himself or his business?
That was really, really an interesting lead into the conversation of himself and sharing a lot about what made him come to fruition as what he is passionate about in life today. That was a wonderful story.
Thank you.
How did she get the name Shades of Broken? How did it come to that part, you know?
Well, like I say, my wife and I were at dinner, and we love to get into these deep discussions about life and humanity and how it all functions. And so we're having such a discussion at this restaurant. And I said, you know, everybody, like our parents, for instance, we viewed them as these great gods of knowledge, and yet really they were just broken people, same as us. And that's when my wife said, we're all a shade of broken in our own way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that we're going to be that way all our life, but it means that at some point in your life, you're a shade of broken. You're a different shade of broken. And then you work on yourself, whether that be internally or however you do that, to heal up that part of you that's broken. So that's where that name came from, Shades of Broken. I think it gives everybody an opportunity and I didn't want to limit my help from anyone. I wanted to serve humanity and and give them the chance that my life coach gave me. And so the Shades of Broken gives everybody a chance and doesn't exclude anybody.
Anyone, okay, yeah, that's a good way of explaining it. That's a wonderful, interesting explanation there.
Thank you.
What do you consider your strategy or format of transitioning people's lives or helping them?
It is based on three. Basically, it is based on the principle that you are seeing everything that you are living and seeing. You're seeing from the outside in.
Okay.
When in reality, we're projecting a movie from the inside out. And we believe what we're seeing. We believe what we're seing because the movie is full of ego. The movie can be full of different messages that we've been shaped with as we grew up. It can be shaped with how we were raised. And so it is a movie that we play. I like to say that when we're first born, we're a clean slate. We have an artist's canvas that is clear. And I teach people that they kind of got away from that for a while. But once we're put on our mother's chests as babies, we will never really know until later in life when we decide we want to find out who we were to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. 100%.
And so I teach people to come home to themselves, to come home to their heart. And, you know, I had a client that said to me, I have to Google on the computer something how to respond to this situation or that situation. And I said, You don't need to do that anymore. The Google is right inside of you. Everything you ever wanted to know about life and you is within you. You've just lost your connection with that because you were raised by people with limited maybe skill or not, but they've shaped you in such a way, influenced the way you're acting and thinking in your adult life, that many people that come to see me to come and live my lifestyle. I teach people to live my lifestyle, which is a lifestyle of peace, tranquility, and living in the moment while knowing that everything and every answer you ever needed is inside of you. And the universe will bring to bear, if you want to do something with your life and you have a way that you want to go in your life, all you have to do is co-create that experience with the universe. And your life, every moment, can be pressure-free. It can be worry-free. And there are times that you'll forget when you're first learning and you'll fall back into what I like to call a thought storm. And that's a storm of your thinking. And so I teach people not to pay attention to their thinking as much as to how they feel in their heart. And I had a shaman once say to me from Greenland, he said, the longest distance is from your head to your heart. And so that's what I teach people, how to get to that place.
Richard, would you like to ask Shane a couple of questions here too to help this live and recorded so we can use this for Shane and others, shaman, life coaches, practitioners, all of the above. And all three of us were prior security, Shane, Melinda, Richard, and me. We've all worn uniforms and done security work, so that's pretty curious. And so Richard is more of my metaphysician right now, and Melinda does psychic healing and health work for a company now out of her home. And I sit here and do radio, websites, and videos. And I do still take on clients, not so much during COVID-19, but, you know, I've written a lot of books about that. But let me let Richard share with you and add to this wonderful time for us. Richard?
Yes. Shane, what a wonderful story and what a heck of a life's journey.
Thank you.
It was very captivating listening to you.
Thank you.
So I would ask, I mean, it's interesting the conclusions that you've come to because, of course, the manner in which you're going to teach others is very familiar to some and not so familiar to others. But how you arrive there is very unusual and unique in and of itself. What tradition, if I might ask, was the shaman in the woods, or did they pronounce a tradition particularly? They
said that it was from. Let me look here. Now that you've asked me that question, I went blank. Let me just look here real quick. And there's a specific name for the type of shamanism that I study, and so let me. Core shamanism is the name. Core shamanism, and so what it does, Richard, is that it takes little bits from every part of the world, from every shamanic study and shaman in every part of the world, and we're able to incorporate their rituals or their traditions into our core shamanism, so that we get a wide variety of healing tools and modalities from different areas of the world, so that we can be ready to help people from different parts of the world.
That's fantastic, and of course that's a large beautiful body of knowledge. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is, and I'll tell you, I'm not much of a. I know you don't know me, on a real personal level, but I'm probably the farthest person from an outdoorsman that you can get. And so it was a really interesting and intimidating way to learn to heal, because I was both fearful because of the unknown of the experience of shamanism when I first started out, and I had no spirit experience. I had no universal contacts that I was aware of in my policing days. So the closest thing I could understand as I learned about this was that, there was some healing here. And it was going to help me in some form or fashion. And then as I grew to know more about shamanism, it was just, it's a field of study that is fantastic and is used around the world for healing in so many different ways. There's no one correct way, which I love.
Well, let's see. Another question, I guess, could be, so you've been healing others through the realization and discovery that was shared with you by a life coach. And how long have you been doing this yourself personally?
For a year now.
Okay.
I have been doing. Now, I did spiritual coaching, if you will, spiritual work, spiritual counseling for people, but it was nothing like what I do now. It certainly what I do now has a very spiritual, mystical component to it. And does it have many features of shamanism? Absolutely. So I've been helping people in this particular way as a life coach for a year now, and I'm just beginning to write a series of books on the experience of healing yourself and being able to heal yourself, so that people don't have to wait in line like I did way back when I first was diagnosed and I was told help was a year away unless you wanted to pay out of pocket for it. I wanted to create a series of books that people could have right now in their hands and on various topics, maybe suicide, maybe depression, maybe PTSD, this type of thing that they could reach onto the bookshelf for and do one topic per book based on what I teach now and all of my years of experience. And we're just embarking on that, myself and my co-author, B.L. White. We're just embarking on writing these books now. And our first one is set to be published next week, as a matter of fact.
Mm.
And it's called Energy at the Table, and it's going to be a great delving into the spiritual side of what became of me, and then we will go on from there to do topic after topic, and in a very conversational, easy to read and understand way. Well, people are waiting in line for help. They can grab a book from somebody who is